Welcome back to Becca's by the Bay. I'm Becca, and a few things I wanted to talk about tonight were I haven't done any health updates in quite some time, and I've been meaning to and haven't done. So, I've tried a lot of different ways of eating over the years, and one thing I thought that would really help me was being a vegan. And I didn't just go vegan, I went raw vegan. And I did it for 3 years. And I did it on and off. Mainly because when I went vegan, I went and did straight like green smoothies. Like, I'm not kidding you. I had green smoothies 3 times a day for my meals. And I probably didn't do some of the supplements that I should have been taking. I didn't have a whole lot of money. I had a lot of health problems and I was trying to get off of a lot of medications. And I don't recommend this for anybody. And as I could get more supplements and things like that over time, it seemed like it just wasn't enough. And superfoods, I was trying like one new superfood like at least every month. And new foods every week, every shopping trip. It was like, okay, pick something new. That way you're getting a variety of foods, a variety of minerals and nutrients. And I got very skinny. I couldn't control my bowels at all. I lost a lot of hair from my head. I have Addison's disease anyway, but I was losing like hair by the clumps when I went raw vegan. And my nails were really, really bad. Like, they were getting really brittle and breaking off and falling off of my toes, off of my hands. I was really scared. I was like, okay, they talk about shedding all this stuff and detoxing, but I'm telling you, I lost hair off my body. I lost hair off my head. I lost my fingernails. My seizures that I was having from different health issues and things like that and car accidents got worse. When I was vegan, I had very low fat intake. I did the 80-10-10 diet, which is really popular with Doug Dougal, Dougal dude. And I did a lot of high fruit. I did very few nuts. I switched over to just mostly seeds. Everything was sprouted. I did sprouting. I did sprouted nuts and seeds. I did a lot of everything that I thought I was doing right. So I got extremely weak, extremely skinny. My doctors were scared for me. They're like, you're dying. They were not joking. I literally, 4 months into being raw vegan, almost didn't make it off of the detox from all the medications. I did do enemas and things like that to try and help, flush everything out faster. But yeah, so like the theory about being vegan is like you're going to go through like a massive detox, right? But they tell you like, okay, so you've put all this crap in your bodies for years, which I ate fairly healthy most of my life anyway. So I didn't have like a lot of junk food or processed foods in my system. And they're like, okay, for how many years that you ate crap, it's going to take you at least that many years to kind of like get better. Like, okay, so you ate crappy for 20 years. It's going to take you 20 years to get better and detox all that stuff. Does that make sense? I don't think that makes sense. I don't think that makes any sense at all. I think you'd start getting better sooner. And I tried, so the doctors had me put like boiled eggs back in my diet and some fish. So I did salmon and I did eggs, and that helped. And I still didn't feel good, and I was really quite kind of depressed being a raw vegan. And so I've got autoimmune disorder issues and things like that, and I tried Autoimmune Paleo, and that big shift from raw vegan to Autoimmune Paleo with that Sarah Ballantyne book that she has out there. And I figured, okay, well, I've done elimination diets before. Hers is an elimination diet, and maybe it'll help me reintroduce the foods properly, and maybe I won't have allergic reactions to them and things like that. That didn't work out for me. So as I was trying to reintroduce foods, and things like that. And 3 months, 4 months into it, I'm talking to other people that are on the same thing, doing the same thing, and they were getting better after like a month of this. And I'm like, yeah, no, this is not working for me. I got very ill for a good month and a half or more. And then I said, this is not working. I can't. After 4 months of trying to do the autoimmune paleo, so I was so sick all the time. I was like, this is just not working. I'm having allergic reactions to everything, and I feel very ill. So I went back to being raw vegan again because I was like, that's gonna be the answer. And yeah, no, it was not the answer. I was extremely strict, did my B12s, I did everything right, doing what they said for raw vegan, and trying to follow Marcus Rothkrantz book, Heal Yourself 101, which, you look at these vegans and they look horrible right now. It's scary. I have been out of loop for a lot of this stuff, and you're like, when I first started raw veganism, it was back in 2013, and it's 2019 now. And I did it for a good 3 years. I took a break and did the autoimmune paleo because my doctors are like, you're dying. This is horrible for you, blah, blah, blah. So, and then I went back to raw veganism, and I stuck with it for quite some time. And I'm like, I didn't know what else to do. My guts were so messed up, and it's like I couldn't eat anything else other than raw vegan foods or smoothies and smoothie bowls and things like that. And I didn't the probiotics, it's like you need more probiotics being a raw vegan just to digest all the food that you're eating, it seems like. And I did intermittent fasting. I did high fruit. I did low fat. I did all kinds of stuff. And none of it seemed to clear up all of my health issues. My asthma went away, and my seizures got worse. Lost my hair, lost my nails. My teeth got really, really bad. And I brushed them probably 3 times a day and flossed every day, twice a day, because I'm dental assistant. I'm into hygiene. I'm going to make sure my teeth don't fall out or rot, right? No, that did not work for me. Because my seizures were so bad and I have celiacs, I'm nutrient deficient. And with the autoimmune problems that I had, I couldn't get enough nutrition in as a raw vegan. Doesn't matter how I slurped it down, sucked it up, put supplements and superfoods on everything. It was not working. I lost 6 of my teeth eating soft fruit foods, and my teeth cracked, and I had to end up getting 6 crowns. Between the 6 crowns and getting all of the amalgams and things like that removed from other teeth, the cost of that was over $10,000. I'm still paying it off. I don't regret having dental work done to remove the amalgams. I don't think amalgams should be in anybody's mouth. It's terrible that they ever even use them. I was terrible that I was around it and worked with it because I think that contributed to me getting sicker. I'm no longer in the dental field, even though I do carry a license for it. If you have amalgams in your mouth and you can get them replaced and removed and fixed, I would suggest seeing a holistic dentist to do it. They have steps and processes and special equipment to make sure that you don't get sick from inhaling all that crap back in your system. So what else did I try that I went to? Let's see. I did the Eat Right for Your Blood Type, which I've been trying, and I've been having a really hard time with some of the things. I'm trying to stick to certain foods for my B blood type, and that's trying to digest food properly after being raw vegan for so long. My guts are so messed up. I still have to have probiotics on a daily basis. And I do my apple cider vinegar and things like that. I tried to do keto, and I have had lactose intolerance for a really long time. And I'm not quite sure why, because when I was a kid, we had farms all around us, and we used to go get cheese and dairy milk from the farms, and I could drink it and I had no problems. But whenever I drink whatever was processed in the stores, I had a huge problem trying to digest anything that the store processed, that people processed in high pasteurization and things like that. And um, I couldn't digest lactose. So I thought I was lactose intolerant for life. As I was not being raw vegan anymore, my husband was getting me raw goat milk, and we were getting raw goat milk to help because it had the natural probiotics and things like that, and that actually helped in the beginning with my digestion and with my seizures and the fat soluble vitamins that he talks about. I don't remember it all, but it was helping me a lot. So raw milk was helping me tremendously to get my guts back in order. I've looked at the GAPS diet, and that looks like it is more of a diet geared towards a blood type people. They have there's like a lot of legumes. There's a lot of things in that diet, the GAPS diet, that I just cannot tolerate or have as a B blood type person. I looked at the Gerson diet in therapy and things like that, and they have wheat in there, and they have all kinds of also other legumes, peanuts, and there's some other different things in the different diet. Oatmeal was a big thing. I cannot have oats of any kind. I can't have really any grains. The only grains I can tolerate are millet and almond flour, and that is it. There's no other grain that I can even tolerate at all. And so I make bread from the millet and the almond flour and some raw honey with some yeast and water and olive oil, and free-range chicken eggs that we raise our own chickens. And then we found this book here. This was the Metabolic Typing Diet, and I'm looking more into this one. It fits me better. I tried keto for a while, and I probably didn't do it quite right, because every time I went full on keto, I had massive cramping. I have a deficiency because of my kidney disorder, where my potassium and magnesium sodium levels bonk out on me, and then I get paralyzed. So regulating my potassium levels is extremely important for me, and trying to do keto, I just wasn't getting enough potassium. So I was trying to eat more avocados and like the fat and all that and the bacon, and I just had a hard time figuring out keto for me to make it work. There's a lot of things that seemed like I couldn't eat, and the dairy wasn't working, and I'm like, okay, I'm just getting really fat from all this. So I have a lot of weight I need to lose from trying to do keto. I actually gained weight doing keto, and I'm not happy with it. I would like to find a happy medium. So this metabolic typing diet has 3 different types. You're either a protein type, where you need to consume mostly protein throughout the day. There's a carbo type that needs to consume mostly carbohydrates. There's also a mixed type, and I fall into that mixed type. I can't have all protein. I can't do carnivore. I don't get any, I don't have enough energy. I don't feel well. I can't do high carbs, even though I did do high carbs at one time as a raw vegan and then / vegan. Potatoes are bad for me, very, very bad for my blood type. Sweet potatoes, any kind of potatoes are bad for me. I love them. I'm Irish, but no, I end up having hip problems. I have trouble walking. It's really bizarre. So every now and then I crave potatoes, and I go back to having some, and I'm like, yeah, no, this is not working. So, okay. Yeah, so mine is more of the mixed type. What is the mixed type? It's what you think it is. You need some fruits, you need some vegetables, you need some protein. You kind of need it either all mixed up together in your meal with a more of like a high protein, or you can space it out throughout the day. You can have like your fruit in the morning with some yogurt, and I get like the grass-fed yogurt from Grazier's Naturals Grocer. That works. I've been able to tolerate that. I can have their grass-fed sour cream, and so there's certain foods that do better for the B blood type, which would be turkey, beef, fish, eggs, no, but only chicken eggs, no chicken at all. Organ meats, I don't do well with a lot of organ meats. It said, like, I think beef liver was good for B blood types, but I am not liking B blood types. Yes, hello, Sugar Magnolia Cube. I love Naturals Grocers too. They have awesome stuff. Let's see. So the mixed metabolic type snack is needed. I still feel like I fall into that. I kind of do intermittent fasting still, whereas our schedule got kind of screwed up because of how we drive the kids to and from work and things like that. And we're trying to get on a better schedule right now. But we usually eat dinner late, which is good for some people and not good for some people. I usually am a morning person, and I like to, if I'm hungry, I eat in the morning. If I'm not hungry in the morning, I will just have like maybe some almonds, banana, and some yogurt. And that's good enough to hold me over probably for a little bit. And I'll have coconut water. And I take these are the only supplements I take. I take chlorella. I take like 8 of those in the morning, and I take one of my spirulina. If I feel like my energy is really low, I'll take like 2 of these. And if you have tooth sensitivity, I take the zinc, either 1 or 2 in the evening. So that's pretty much all I take for supplements. I don't take my B vitamins anymore, even though I used to be extremely B12 deficient. I used to get shots for that, and actually just eating the beef has corrected that. The other thing I do have is we get bee pollen, and this has your B vitamins in it. And so I'll put this in my dandelion and chicory drink. I make like a faux coffee and put my creamer in it, and then I'll put bee pollen in it and 2 dates. And sometimes I'll put my chia seeds and I'll put it in the blender and blend it all up. And so, yeah, bee pollen's been pretty good. The nutritional yeast is really good for B vitamins. I'll stick that in my omelets. So I'll usually make like a really big omelet, like 4 free-range eggs and some grass-fed cheese or raw cheese with nutritional yeast. And then we grow a lot of our own veggies here at our homestead. And so I'll put like dandelion greens or Swiss chard greens or maybe some mushrooms in there, maybe some onion, and then make my little omelet for the morning, and I'll put my sour cream on top. And if I'm really hungry, I'll have like my toast that has the almond and millet flour. And then I have my like chicory dandelion drink, and I've got a video on here for how to make that drink. So that's pretty much breakfast, and I eat that about 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's a good sized meal, and it holds me over till dinner time, which is usually around 7 or 8. And then we either grill outside on the fire, like beef ribs or like beef patties, hamburger patties, or like a steak, or we do a lot of beef. And I do feel like it gives me a lot more energy. Brisket's really good with the fat. It feels really good for us. My husband's also a B blood type, so he does very little vegetables and higher protein. So he's more of like a protein type. And I'm more of a mixed type where I still have to have some kind of fruit. If I'm really outside working on some different things, I'll have like an orange or some nectarines, things like that. Nothing that's too high in sugar. Try to keep my bananas at a minimum. Although, yeah, I loved making banana ice cream as a raw vegan. That stuff was like, oh, so good. And then we stick to, I get the grass-fed milk at Naturals Grocer. It's called Organic Valley. So I get the whole milk, and I drink that with my meal. I'll either have it with my snacks. I do have some Lara bars throughout the day. It's like a cashew almond butter one. If I'm feeling like I need a pick-me-up or kind of a snack or something, I'll have that with a glass of grass-fed milk. And that's pretty much all I eat for the whole day. Like maybe 1 to 2 bananas, if that. Usually one fruit, 1 Lara bar if I need it, I have my omelet with my veggies, sour cream and cheese, and then we'll do some kind of beef or something like that in the evening with some vegetables like we've got beets or we have parsnips, are really good replacement for potatoes. Carrots are good. The root vegetables seem to do a little bit better for me as far as like filling you up and satisfying you. Um, not Sometimes if you eat too many greens, it's just kind of rough on the stomach depending on your stress levels. So if your stress levels are high, eat less of the greens and more protein and fat, and I feel better that way. Um, so that's helped me with my seizures lately, as far as making sure that my protein is good, my fats are healthy. If I do need a snack, I might have like some walnuts or almonds, or I really need to make like a nut granola, but I haven't done that yet. We did something at Naturals Grocer. They have like these little classes, and they did some honey, and they put maple syrup on the nuts, and they toasted them in the oven, and they were really good with a little bit of cinnamon. It was awesome. I tried to do that here, and we didn't have maple syrup. I put maple sugar, and they came out more candied, and it wasn't quite the same thing. So let's see. Yep. So yeah, dairy's okay for this if you don't have a problem with it. Certain dairy does bother me. Like I said, I can't have it unless it's grass fed, just because of what it's missing or how it's processed. Now, my husband does really good with fermented foods, and even beer is actually beneficial for the B blood types, which is interesting. And I've had beer on occasion. I don't know that it helps or not. I think sometimes I do still get some swelling from it. I think that's because of my celiacs. I stay away from caffeine. Caffeine will mess me up and crash my thyroid big time. So I do not drink any caffeine at all, as far as coffee, because that's hard on my kidneys. But from time to time, we do get like some chocolate from Naturals Grocer, like tonight. Oh, this was so good. Ugh, they have like the best stuff. So this was like blueberry dark chocolate, and so there's gonna be caffeine in your chocolate, but I don't know, sometimes I need a little pick me up. So every now and then we get some like good chocolate from Naturals Grocer. And if I have a little bit, I mean just like a couple of bites or something, I'm okay with it. It doesn't crash too bad. I don't do fruit juices really. Yeah, they're definitely too high in sugar. Avoiding sugar. I don't do cookies. I don't do like we don't add sugar to anything. And if we have sugar, we use coconut sugar, and very little bit, like in a like faux coffee drink or something. Um, I do dates. Dates are fine if I need some kind of sugar. Um, let's see. There's some other stuff I need to read about this. So basically, the mix type is, it says 50% carbohydrates, 50% protein and fats, and however you get that in throughout the day is up to you. I'm just trying to go by what feels good too and what's satisfying. I thought this was an excellent book. They have like some sample menus in here and stuff like that. And they talk about a sprouted grain. I can't have the sprouted grains, so I make my own. But it says like whole grain cereal with whole milk, berries, eggs, or cottage cheese. I can't have oats. Like a cheese sandwich with tomato, lettuce, and tuna salad. Tuna's pretty good, but I try to stay away from doing stuff that's canned. I try to do fresh fish, wild caught fish. Let's see. I've tried to stay away from salads because it just seems to mess up my guts too much. Being a raw vegan, that's all I ate for my meals was like, it was like smoothie in the morning, smoothie bowl, and then I'd have like a big ass salad, like everybody talks about. It takes like an hour to friggin' eat, and yeah, salads I try to stay away from because it's just too hard on my guts. Eggs are eggs are soothing on my stomach. The beef is actually really soothing now that I've gotten used to eating it. Um, the dairy with the whole milk and things like that, and the sour cream and my cheese. So that's pretty much. And then when we do butter, we do the Kerrygold unsalted butter. So, and I try to make sure I don't salt anything too much. I just do a little bit. I think I got really sensitive to salt, adding it back in, because as a raw vegan, you don't really salt anything. You put celery and everything instead, and you regulate your sodium with like a lot of celery. So I had to watch my salt intake when I first started getting it back in my system, because I blew up like a crazy person. But so, and it has like a little thing that there's like I forget how many questions it is, but it has like a bunch of questions that it asks you and how you feel with different foods and different things throughout the day. And then that's how it puts you into your category of protein type, mixed type, or carb type. And then you just follow, they have like an allowable foods chart. So I've kind of looked at these charts with the Eat Right for Your Blood Type diet. And the Eat Right for Your Blood Type diet has, let me see, mine's different. So this one's by Dr. Peter D'Adamo, and it'll give you a lot of good information for your blood type. And it's, I think, a good general guideline, but because I've got so many weird, quirky autoimmune disorders and things like that, a lot of the foods I was reacting to that my other B blood type friends could do really well with, that I couldn't do well with, and I couldn't figure out why. So he has another test that you can do for your secretor status, and then they have an online lifetime membership where you just pay once, and it's called Swami SWAMI Express. And what that is it punches in like your measurements, so basically your ancestral history, into the Swami, along with your blood type, your secretor status, any health issues that you have going on. If you want to gain weight, if you want to lose weight, it will tailor your diet and give you the foods that you need to optimally function on. So my Swami is an online program that I have with the Eat Right for Your Blood Type diet, from their website. And that has been the best guideline for foods that I can or cannot eat. And then I still kind of do an elimination diet where I only add in certain foods, and if I'm not doing with them, I cut them out, and then I try something else. So there's very few foods that I really have been eating lately, mostly just the grass-fed whole milk, the grass-fed sour cream, grass-fed yogurt, fresh fruits. I try to keep my apples to a minimum because they're high sugar. Bananas are high sugar, so I try to keep those to a minimum. Like 1 to 2 fruits a day total. So like nectarines were a little bit better. Do not do any juices, no processed sugar. I don't do processed foods. We cook everything from scratch, except for like the Lara bars. There, on occasion, you need something on the go. I'll grab that. Let's see. And then veggies. I do my veggies with my meat and my sour cream and my Kerrygold butter. I'll have my glass of milk, and that's pretty much it. And then my bread that I make, which is the millet flour and almond flour. It's pretty basic. So they do have a grass-fed cream cheese that I get on occasion, but the Kelowna one is really, really thick. It's like a cream cheese, and it's not as high fat, and so I've switched over to the Kelowna sour cream, and I use it like a cream cheese on my toast, like that. So I hope this is helpful for somebody out there, because I know a lot of people have come out about not being vegan. I've really delayed even putting a video out about it because there's just so much drama and chaos about it on the internet and YouTube, and I just did not do well. I think the raw vegan diet is good if you are trying to heal something temporarily to go on it, but you really do have to watch your nutrients, your supplements, your superfoods. There's a lot you need to really take into account It's not an easy diet to follow for anybody. Following a vegan diet is not easy, I think, to get a healthy diet. There's a lot of processed junk out there. There's a lot of processed wheat and textured vegetable protein, which is wheat. And wheat, I don't think, is good for anybody. But that's just my personal opinion. I've seen other people do great on like that ancient wheat or something like that. I forget what it's called, but and they look really healthy, and you're like, okay, well, they're eating that. They must be good for them. So I don't know. I just don't think anybody should eat wheat because it's been tampered with and processed over the past 50 years that it's not even recognizable to what it used to be, what our grandparents used to eat. We're not eating the same foods that they ate, which is why it's so important. I thought when I went vegan, I'm going to grow this food forest and it's going to be amazing. And I wish I could show you around tonight, but I will probably do a video where I show you guys our garden and what we have going on. We have a small urban home, and it's about 8,000 square feet of land and 1,000 square foot home. So I have less than 7,000 square feet to grow on. Plus, probably our garage is a double garage. It's probably 800 square feet. So I don't have much space to grow. House came with the orange tree. We planted ice cream banana trees. We've planted brown turkey fig trees, a little Miss Figgy tree, Meyer lemon, pomegranate, a Joey avocado, key lime tree, and that's pretty much all I have room for. We have 2 oak trees in the yard and a couple on the side, different other trees, and so that's all I have the space for. And then we have like a little market garden that we do, and we have about 6 rows where you can have like about 3 rows of each something going on. Right now we've got 32 tomato plants out there, and we've got collards, Swiss chard, Brussels sprouts, beets. I think and then we have cucumbers and loofah. And then we have another small section where we did an experimental patch of like several different, I think 12 different kinds of heirloom tomatoes. We've got hibiscuses and some different flowers and succulents and aloe. And I have an herb garden in the front with like, I don't know, probably at least 8 big pots that you can get at like Lowe's or Home Depot. And it's got like onion chives, purslane, rosemary, oregano, chocolate mint, bunch of different stuff. And then we've got some strawberry patches that we've been growing just for fun. We've got our lettuces, we've got garlic, we've got red onions. We have a moringa tree that a neighbor gave me. I was so excited about that. That was fun because that really still helps out with my potassium levels. I'll put that in my milk. Let's see. We got cherry tomatoes in the front and in the back, and dandelion greens, some different pepper plants. And then I've got more like basil and dill and some different flowers. And then we planted cantaloupe and watermelon. Where it's all going to go, I have no idea. It's probably going to be sprawling across my driveway, which will be fine. But we try to keep the front nice and neat and just have an herb garden in the front with our fruit trees and some different flowers and rose bushes and stuff. And then most of the gardening is all towards the back area in the backyard. That way nobody can complain about it. And our chickens are back there with a huge area that they have, and we let them out and have. So that's pretty much our little urban homestead. And like to live as a raw vegan or even to try to grow as much food as possible, like it takes a lot of land to grow food, a lot of space, and we don't have it. And it's amazing how much more energy you get from eating animal products throughout the day. I can have more energy. I feel like I think clearer and better, but I feel better on the animal products than raw vegan. I have more energy. I feel better. I think clearer. My seizures are down. The cramps and leg spasms and the pain that I have, the nerve damage I have from accidents and things like that is lower. So yeah, it just takes a lot of space to grow stuff. We planted a banana tree almost 3 years ago. We finally got bananas, I think, yeah, they finally ripened. It took like 2.5 years to get bananas, and now we have 2 more bunches out there. But it's not a whole lot. It there's I think there was like 7 of these. We got 7 little hands on the first bunch. There's 7 bunches like this that was on the first tree, and it was kind of small, so the other ones are much bigger, so hopefully they'll be bigger. These were the ice cream bananas. I don't know anybody else that's growing them down here. And when you can peel it off like that, it's ripe, and it's kind of like, it looks more like a plantain inside. It's not very watery, and there's like, you can see the seeds in each little section. And the ice cream banana tastes like berries, with a hint of vanilla. So they're really good for like smoothies. Sometimes I'll have a smoothie on occasion if my stomach's whatever, and I just feel like I need to hydrate. I'll have a smoothie in the morning. Just a small one, nothing like I used to make. I just make like a little small smoothie with a couple of these and some moringa and some Swiss chard or something like that. And I feel okay with that. So that's been working out for me. But to grow the amount of food you need as a raw vegan is just crazy, crazy, crazy. And then what about the animals? The animals can eat all that grass very easily and digest it. We're not meant to digest that. We're actually meant to digest animal products. That's all there is to it. So I'm no longer vegan. I don't think I'm ever going to go back to doing it. And I wish everybody the best on their health journey. I hope this has helped somebody. One of the other channels that I watched, Daphnee Reloaded, she's A blood type. I would have thought that she would have done well on a raw vegan diet or a vegan diet, and she did not. She had all kinds of health issues from it. So it really helped to open my eyes to stop being a raw vegan, and try more carnivore protein based stuff, animal products. And it's made a big difference. My skin is clear. You actually don't need to drink as much. Like as a raw vegan, you need a lot of water, and everything you eat is very watery, and you're always going to the bathroom, whether it being peeing or crapping. It's all day long. It's like you have to get to a bathroom right now or you're just gonna burst. And it's not like that. It's weird. You eat the animal fats and the animal proteins, and you're not as thirsty, you're hydrated, and you can go a lot longer with your energy and get some things done and things like that. So whatever you guys choose to try out in your health journey, whether it be keto, you want to try vegan, people have been trying it. Everybody's not doing it anymore, it seems. We have some friends that are vegan, and they look healthy doing it, but I'm sure they are, from time to time, and they tell you, they're like, well, we have eggs, we have fish, so it's not something that seems sustainable to do long term. They always come up with some kind of deficiency where they need to go back to having some kind of protein, animal protein. And I find that time and time again. And it's sad that a lot of us have fallen into the trap of raw vegan is the way. And it's not the way. I don't think it's the way. But whatever you guys try to do out there that works for your, if you go by your blood type, if you do keto, whatever you try, I've tried everything. And this is what's working for me right now. I just need to get my weight back under control from the keto that I did. I fell fat. I fell fat from doing keto. Went from 125 as a raw vegan to 215 on keto. It was crazy. So now I'm trying to get back down to like 175 is where I usually feel good at. 160, 175 at 5'9", with a medium kind of build and things like that, medium bone structure. So I hope I can get back down to that and have the energy to to do all the things I need to do. So if you want to check out Daphnee Reloaded at her channel, tell her I sent you from Becca's by the Bay. We have some different things on our shops on Etsy. Hers is called Whole Wheat Cream Puff. Mine is called Becca's by the Bay, where I make goat milk soaps and lotions and scrubs. And then she has some fat waxes and bacon beauty products and things like that, which are really awesome. So stop by and tell her I said hi. She'll be giving out a free little sample of my mini soaps in her. I've got some that I just made today, but there will be like some different mini soaps that she'll be giving out in her orders. Lately, I sent her a big batch of them. So I hope you guys have a beautiful, blessed evening. I hope this helped somebody with their health journey. If there's any questions or comments that you have, add them down below. I'm happy to get back to you guys about it. I'm studying nutrition for a really long time. I've tried everything. I'm not an expert in any way. I'm just somebody sharing my journey, what's worked, what hasn't worked, and what I'm doing now. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great night. We'll see you in the next one.